The global geopolitical landscape is constantly evolving. New technologies, unexpected alliances, and political shifts have been redefining the military capabilities from traditional giants like the United States and Russia to new emerging players. For this analysis, recent data on defense budgets, technology, and military capabilities from the Global Firepower Military Strength Ranking were used. Next, we will look at the top 20 military powers in the world in 2024. Spain. The Spanish Armed Forces have 133,000 active military personnel and 15,000 reservists. The Army has 327 tanks and a total of 15,046 vehicles. The Air Force has 513 aircraft, and the Navy has 168 naval assets. The defense budget is $22 billion. Germany. The Unified Armed Forces of Germany have 181,000 active military personnel and 34,000 reservists. The Army has 295 tanks and a total of 79,317 vehicles, plus 33 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 618 aircraft, and the Navy has 64 naval assets. The defense budget is $55,941,410,000, the seventh largest in the world. Ukraine. The Armed Forces of Ukraine have 900,000 active military personnel and 1.2 million reservists. The Army has 1,777 tanks and a total of 22,110 vehicles, plus 491 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 321 aircraft, and the Navy has 104 naval assets, noting that these figures may fluctuate due to the ongoing war with Russia. The defense budget is around $42 billion due to financial aid the country has been receiving from the United States and NATO. Israel. The Israel Defense Forces have 170,000 active military personnel and 475,000 reservists. The Army has 1,370 tanks and a total of 43,407 vehicles, plus 150 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 612 aircraft, and the Navy has 67 naval assets. The defense budget is $24,400,000,000. It is estimated that Israel possesses about 90 nuclear weapons. Australia. The Australian Defence Forces have 57,000 active military personnel and 32,000 reservists. The Army has 59 tanks and a total of 16,162 vehicles. The Air Force has 325 aircraft, and the Navy has 43 naval assets. The defense budget is $52,559,000,000, the ninth largest in the world. Egypt. The Armed Forces of Egypt have 440,000 active military personnel and 480,000 reservists. The Army has 5,340 tanks and a total of 77,596 vehicles, plus 1,119 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 1,080 aircraft, and the Navy has 140 naval assets. The defense budget is $9,400,000,000. Iran. The Armed Forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran have 610,000 active military personnel and 350,000 reservists. The Army has 1,996 tanks and a total of 65,765 vehicles, plus 775 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 551 aircraft, and the Navy has 101 naval assets. The defense budget is $9,954,451,000. Indonesia. The National Armed Forces of Indonesia have 400,000 active military personnel and 400,000 reservists. The Army has 313 tanks and a total of 11,604 vehicles, plus 63 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 474 aircraft, and the Navy has 333 naval assets. The defense budget is $25 billion. Brazil. The Brazilian armed forces have 360,000 active military personnel and 340,000 reservists. The army has 469 tanks and a total of 44,044 vehicles, plus 78 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 628 aircraft, and the Navy has 134 naval assets. The defense budget is $24,752 million. Brazil is the second largest military force in America. Only behind the United States, however, the country is the largest force in Latin America and the Southern Hemisphere. France. The French armed forces have 200,000 active military personnel and 26,000 reservists. The army has 222 tanks and a total of 85,023 vehicles, plus 9 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 972 aircraft, and the Navy has 128 naval assets. The defense budget is $49,730 million, the 10th largest in the world. It is estimated that France possesses about 290 nuclear weapons. Italy. The Italian armed forces have 165,000 active military personnel and 18,000 reservists. The army has 200 tanks and a total of 61,892 vehicles, in addition to 21 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 800 aircraft, and the Navy has 309 naval assets. The defense budget is $31,600 million. Pakistan. The Pakistani armed forces have 654,000 active military personnel and 550,000 reservists. The army has 3,742 tanks and a total of 50,523 vehicles, in addition to 602 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 1,434 aircraft, and the Navy has 114 naval assets. The defense budget is $6,349,876,689, a very low figure for its military power. It is estimated that Pakistan has about 165 nuclear weapons. Turkey. The Turkish armed forces have 355,000 active military personnel and 378,000 reservists. The army has 2,231 tanks and a total of 55,104 vehicles, in addition to 286 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 1,069 aircraft, and the Navy has 186 naval assets. The defense budget is $40 billion. Japan. The Japan Self-Defense Forces have 247,000 active military personnel and 56,000 reservists. The Army has 518 tanks and a total of 37,662 vehicles, in addition to 54 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 1,459 aircraft, and the Navy has 155 naval assets. The defense budget is $53 billion, the 8th largest in the world. United Kingdom. The British Armed Forces have 184,000 active military personnel and 924,000 reservists. The Army has 213 tanks and a total of 27,203 vehicles, in addition to 41 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 664 aircraft, and the Navy has 117 naval assets. The defense budget is $62,816,382,000, the 6th largest in the world. It is estimated that the United Kingdom has about 225 nuclear weapons. South Korea. The armed forces of the Republic of Korea have 600,000 active military personnel and 3,100,000 reservists. The Army has 2,501 tanks and a total of 66,492 vehicles, in addition to 581 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 1,576 aircraft, and the Navy has 200 naval assets. The defense budget is $44,700 million. India. The Indian Armed Forces have 1,455,000 active military personnel and 1,155,000 reservists. The Army has 4,614 tanks and a total of 151,248 vehicles, in addition to 702 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 2,296 aircraft, and the Navy has 294 naval assets. The defense budget is $74 billion, the fourth largest in the world. It is estimated that India has about 156 nuclear weapons. China. The People's Liberation Army of China has 2,035,000 active military personnel and 510,000 reservists. The Army has 5,000 tanks and a total of 174,300 vehicles, in addition to 3,180 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 3,304 aircraft, and the Navy has 730 naval assets. The defense budget is $227 billion, the second largest in the world. It is estimated that China has about 350 nuclear weapons. Russia. The armed forces of the Russian Federation have 1,320,000 active military personnel and 2 million reservists. The Army has 14,777 tanks and a total of 161,382 vehicles, in addition to 3,065 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 4,255 aircraft, and the Navy has 781 naval assets. The defense budget is $109 billion, the third largest in the world. It is estimated that Russia has about 6,257 nuclear weapons, the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. United States. The United States Armed Forces have 1,328,000 active military personnel and 800,000 reservists. The Army has 4,657 tanks and a total of 360,069 vehicles, in addition to 694 rocket artillery systems. The Air Force has 13,209 aircraft, and the Navy has 472 naval assets. The defense budget is $831.781 billion, the largest defense budget in the world. It is estimated that the United States has about 5,550 nuclear weapons. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. Thank you for watching.